All right, how do you get more of your customers to say yes to your offers? You know, every time we ask our customers, potential customers, to whip out their credit cards or checkbook or just hard earned cash, we ask them to trust us, but do we communicate that we actually trust them first? Well, welcome to the world of risk reversals, also known as guarantees. Adam Urbanski, also known as the Millionaire Marketing Mentor, and that's exactly what I want to share with you today, which is how to craft powerful guarantees that actually make it much more irresistible to make your offers much more irresistible and make it so much easier for your potential clients to say yes and become actual paid clients. So the actual term risk reversal, I think, came from Jay Abraham. He's the guy who coined that. And let me actually take this out of my ear. I think you guys on the coaching call can still hear me just fine. So it really speaks perfectly to what it actually is. All right, which is rather than asking your clients to say, "Hey, I am a good guy, I'm a good gal, we're a good company, trust us, give us your money," we want to reverse the risk and say, no, 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 we trust you first. We trust that you are a good person. We trust that you will not take advantage of us. And you will be, by the way, the sole judge, jury, and executioner of that. And so everything is in your hands. It's just, let's make it that easy. Rather than asking you to trust us, we want to tell you we trust you first. Hence, reversing the risk of doing business with us. And it's powerful because, we are all afraid to make a mistake, to lose money, for things not to work. And then we have no recourse, no action to take. So guarantees ensure that we don't make this mistake. All right. Now, if you're watching this on Facebook, if you're watching this right now, go ahead and type in live where you're watching this from. All along the way, let me know your golden nuggets, your big ahas from observing this, how you can possibly use it in your business, examples, anything that pops into your mind. Obviously, I'm always liking those little likes and hearts. And that is actually your obligation to me for watching this video. I always say that, and the reason for it is, look, this training is actually part of my coaching program for paying clients. And occasionally on some topics, I do broadcast it at no cost to you in my Fastest Path to Cash community. And your payment for this wonderful information, which comes to you at no financial cost, is to help me get it into the hands of as many members of our community as possible. And you do that by liking, loving, and commenting on it, all right? Because that lets Facebook know, hey, this stuff is semi-good. Let's show it to a few more people, all right? Now, I do see some people commenting, and I apologize, I will actually not be calling you out. Maybe I will in a moment. I'll see. We'll see how it goes. All right. So let's go into this. I'm going to give you 3 things about what makes guarantees, how to build good guarantees, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about how to actually use them powerfully. So first things first, the types of guarantees. All right. There are, in my opinion, actually only 2 types of guarantees, and everything else falls under those 2 categories. Number 1 is satisfaction guarantee. And number 2 is performance guarantee. By the way, if you're watching this online for the first time, you always know I've got a yellow notepad full of notes. That's what I follow. So if you see me glancing down, I'm like, okay, I want to make sure I cover everything. Satisfaction guarantee is pretty much exactly what it says. You'll be completely satisfied with what you get, or it's free, or it's something else than free. I'll talk about this in just a moment. And performance guarantee actually promises and guarantees results. Obviously, in my book, both are powerful, both are amazing, both are useful. I am a much bigger fan of performance guarantees whenever possible. And over the last 20 years of working with different clients, primarily selling services, sometimes quite risky to guarantee, we've always found a way to structure a performance guarantee. I once worked with a company selling insurance to businesses, and they were selling to large companies. And this is now before all Obamacare and kind of how things changed. But this is a very long sales cycle and very tough thing. What do you promise? And we actually guaranteed that they will have 100% employee satisfaction with the new coverage, or they will put them under back to the old provider or actually source a new insurance provider for them within 90 days at their own expense, guaranteed. Now, this, we were talking about tens of thousands of dollars in costs and hundreds of thousands of dollars in lost revenue. And it was still, obviously, you've got to put some things in place. We'll talk about how to make sure that you don't get taken to the cleaner, so to speak, but it's possible to do that, right? So satisfaction, hey, you will be happy with our performance. You will be happy with our customer service. You will feel excited and ecstatic about the quality of our work, right? Kind of like, again, satisfaction, fairly simple. You will be happy about what you purchased, but that's kind of it. So in some cases, that's enough. In many cases, that may not be enough. Guarantee is, hey, what you paid for will actually be delivered on bountifully, plentifully, exactly what you expected and hopefully more, or again, we don't get to keep your money. All right. And now a couple other things in addition to those two main categories is, what do you actually promise, right? So again, to me, they fall into a couple of categories. One is risk-free, and the other one is better than risk-free. Risk-free is when you say, we'll give you your money back. Better than risk-free is when you say, not only you will be made whole again in terms of your financial investment or whatever else, but we will actually make it up to you in some way, shape, or form for losing your time, for time and effort that went into giving us a good old college try, right? So again, satisfaction and performance, you need to decide which one you can guarantee, ideally performance. And then, is it just risk-free, meaning if you don't think it was what we promised, we'll give you your money back, or is it better than risk-free, which is, hey, if you think we didn't deliver, then we're just gonna pile up goodies and make it up to you abundantly for even wasting some of your effort and your time. All right, now number two, what goes into actually crafting powerful guarantees? And I listed 4 things here. 4 things. So number one is, what's your actual promise, right? Oh, this is like the main hook of your guarantee. What are you actually promising? And to me, it needs to be clear, right? So you immediately, when the person reads this, it's clear what's being guaranteed. Number 2, it needs to be relevant to that particular audience and that particular offer. So I've seen people take guarantees kind of completely out of context, that swipe it from someone else, place it on their offer, and it completely doesn't make sense, because while it might have been relevant to a certain market, it's completely not relevant to your market. So imagine, borrowed an industry from a guarantee from a car industry or car repair industry, like your repair will be done the first time, and plugging it into a coaching industry that says, you'll be coached right the first time or your money back. Like, it just doesn't sound right, doesn't make sense. And it's an extreme over-colored example just to kind of illustrate the point. So clear, is your point clear what you guaranteed? Is it relevant to the audience? And number 2, does it actually address the real issue? So I just brought up the example of car industry, right? And many times we'll take a car to the mechanic, especially in the older days. I don't think it's happening as much as it used to, because many of the industries sort of cleaned up their act over the years. Now it's time for the coaching and consulting industry to clean up its act, but that's a different story. So, but in the past, it was very normal that you would take a car to the mechanic and then drive it off the repair lot or out of the shop, and then you have the same issue, even worse, a bunch of other issues would pop up, right? So hence the guarantee the job will be done right the first time, and they wouldn't offer money back, but the job will be done right. So you need to think, what is the issue going on in the industry right now? In my case, right now, the biggest issue in the industry is that people are overwhelmed, bombarded with information, but they really get no results. People pay tens of thousands of dollars a year for coaching, training programs, masterminds. And then at the end of that, there's absolutely zero results or very little. They maybe recover the money back. Maybe in most cases, they even don't make more to recover what the investment was. And there's absolutely no results. So in my particular case, I focus strongly on guarantee of performance, right? And I actually, most people learn, and don't take action. So our guarantee is actually on implementation. You will implement steps and you will get results out of it, right? So you have to address what's really relevant to your market. Second thing of your guarantee that's very important is the length of a guarantee. So again, I don't know what you're selling in particular, but imagine this. You sell well, in my case, 90-day coaching program, right? I shouldn't call it a coaching program. I hate that, but it's kind of the easy way to talk about it, right? It's a 90-day revenue acceleration business growth game. So it's 90 days. Imagine that I guaranteed it for 7 days. Like, hey, if you don't like it in 7 days, you out. Well, sort of makes no sense for a couple of reasons. One is, it takes a little while to get traction, and number two, well, it's 90 days. So wouldn't it make sense that the performance happens over 90 days, not in 7 days? 7 days is not enough to even give you a taste of it. Right, so think about what does it take for someone to really evaluate your offer appropriately. And in some cases, there are trial offers, that make sense for 7 days or 2 weeks. But typically, the longer you can make the guarantee, the better. So I'll give you an idea. When I was doing my live events, and actually even when I was running 12-month my Business Growth Navigator coaching programs, we had a two-part, I'm a big fan of two-part guarantees: satisfaction and performance. All right. So satisfaction essentially would say something like this: come to my event. Actually, I'll give you an example of my live event first. We had a 3-part guarantee. We have satisfaction, better than money back guarantee. We had satisfaction risk-free, and we had a performance guarantee. All right. So check this out. Number one was, if you come to my live event and it's a 4-day training, if within the first day and by the end of the first day, you decide, listen, this is totally not what I promised you, I've wasted your time, just turn your materials in to any of my team members, and we will instantly cut you a check to refund your tuition. Plus, we will write you a check for up to $500 for your travel and lodging expenses, just to say we're so sorry for wasting your time, right? So this is the first day you arrived. Within 1 day, you decide, this really isn't going where I thought it was going. No problem. Better than money back, risk-free guarantee of your satisfaction. Then, second guarantee was, if you stay with us, but that's not it. You can stay with us for the entire 4 days. And at the end of the 4th day, when we are turning the lights off and everybody's going home, and you decide, you know what, this really wasn't worth my time and money. I didn't get anything out of it. No worries. Just turn your materials in to any of my staff members, and we will write you a check for full refund of your tuition. Now, at this point, we figured if you stuck around for 4 days, it must not have been that bad. So you're on your own for your lodging and tuition, but we'll still cover your tuition fully. Here's your money back. And by the way, you get to keep any bonus materials that we gave during the event. So it's all yours. Thank you and best of success to you. All right. And that's still not it. You've got 12 months to actually test drive what we taught you. And if within 12 months you don't make 10 times in additional revenue what you paid us in tuition, so that would, depending on the event, it would be anywhere from 10,000 to maybe 50,000. Like our most expensive live events were 5,000. So that would mean somebody would need to make $50,000 in additional revenue to deliver on that performance guarantee, right? So our last guarantee, the performance guarantee, was if you don't make at least 10 times in additional revenue from the information you learned at this event, we don't deserve to keep your money. Ask for it and we'll refund your tuition. The only thing we ask is that you take one strategy we taught you and implement it fully for 90 days, for 1/4 of a year. When you do this, we're confident you will have made 10 times your tuition in additional revenue. right? So you've got three-part guarantee: satisfaction better than money free, satisfaction risk free, and performance guarantee. And actually, there was even, I can go into shades and colors and this risk free, talking about it. At the end of 12 months, you don't make your money back. You have an option, right? You can ask us and we'll work with you for 90 days 101 to make you the money. And if we still can't, we'll still refund your tuition. I mean, we'll go out of our way to make you a satisfied client, all right? So that brings me, so what I talked about, what's the actual promise? The length, the third part of a powerful guarantee, is your coverage and conditions. So in this example I just gave you, I actually highlighted both things. What's actually covered, right? In most of you, when you offer services, it really, what will they have to return the materials? Do they get to keep the materials? And then conditions, which is, do they have to do anything to claim the guarantee or not really? So typically what happens for just the satisfaction guarantee, you don't have to do anything, right? You're not satisfied for any reason whatsoever. You just ask for your money back and that's it. When you offer performance guarantees, you do want to protect yourself. So you most likely will request will put some sort of conditions that have to be met in order for the person to say, look, this didn't work for me. I would like my money back. All right. Now, how do I talk about this really quick? The more you cover and the fewer conditions you put in place, the better the guarantee. But chances are you're also exposing yourself to more risk. This is one of the big objections most people bring up when they form guarantees. They say, well, what if someone takes advantage of me? What if? All right. And I can tell you that the times that this actually happens are extremely rare. In my example of being on this particular business for almost 19 years, actually 19 years now, I honestly cannot recall even a single example where I felt like somebody was really screwing me, right? I cannot recall. There we have, probably I could count on less than the fingers of both my hands. So less than 10 examples over 19 years where someone has executed the guarantee with me on coaching programs. Just honestly done. And I'll talk about why this happens in just a moment. All right. So the fourth part of, let me just talk about conditions really quick. So typically what you want to require is that they take some actions and then they document it, that they check something. So for example, right now in our Revenue Rev Up Intensive program, we have activities that are called required. And if the person does not perform those required activities, well, they can't ask for refund. Like, you didn't do what we told you to do. All right. But again, we still own up to it, and I'll tell you about it in a moment how we do this, right? Because to me, this is very powerful. So last part of a guarantee is actually the languaging, the titling, and the positioning. So what does that mean? How do you frame the guarantee? How do you language the guarantee so it actually addresses everything correctly? It sounds kind of fresh. It sounds unique. So for example, my guarantees for live events, or even for my coaching programs in the past, when they were in writing on websites, they ended with this sentence: this is better than a guarantee. This is my personal promise to you. All right. Again, this isn't some company, some obscure, a corporate identity that tries to screw you. No, this is me, Adam Rybański, standing behind my promise, giving you my word, and therefore it's better than a guarantee. I'm giving you my word that what I wrote here, this will be delivered on. This is how important this is to me, and this is, and in some places I'll put my phone number on it. Like if it does not delivered, phone me. Here's my phone number. Call me. All right. So another thing is that title of a guarantee itself can communicate the power of it. So on my last few information products, they guarantee actually would say something like, it's Adam's famous, steal my stuff, better than risk-free money back guarantee. Adam's famous, steal my stuff, better than risk-free money back guarantee. All right. And steal my stuff was in quotation mark. And then I will explain what the hell does that mean. Well, here's what it means. Again, you've got a satisfaction guarantee and you've got a performance guarantee. And what it means is that if you execute any of those guarantees, right? And here's what will happen. Those are digital products. Not only we will refund your money, like in some cases we'll actually compensate you financially for giving it a try, but whether we give you more money or not, here's what happens. You just let us know we are not satisfied, and what we will do, we'll immediately refund your tuition or refund your investment, and you get to keep all the stuff we sent you. Like if it's digital access, you know what? You get to keep access to this. We won't even kick you out. Just keep the access, right? Maybe you'll find it useful in the future. We don't know, right? So again, steal my stuff. Essentially, you get it for free. Here's another languaging that we use. It's like you will be the sole judge, jury, and the executioner, right? So how do I know you are not satisfied? What are the conditions you have to meet? Do you have to write me an essay? Like, does someone need to validate this? It's like, no, you come to me and you judge the satisfaction. You are the jury that tells me this is true, and then you execute on it. You, the executioner, telling me I want my money back. That's it. And I've got no say on it. It's all on you. So you see how powerful that is? But then we also put conditions in there. For example, I used in my guarantees language like this. Which say, look, if you're the type of person that's already decided to purchase this, download all the possible materials and within moments ask for your money back. If that's your prerogative, all right, I can't stop you. Go right ahead and do this. All right. But truly, I'll prefer that you go away. Because you know what? It won't be of any value to you. You most likely will not use it anyway. You're just collecting materials. Just go away. However, if you truly are the kind of person that sees the value of this information, you're just not sure at the moment if it really is all I promise, and you just want to look inside and evaluate for yourself, go right ahead. And again, you will be the sole judge, jury, and executioner of that guarantee, right? You are the person I structured this guarantee for. Someone who genuinely wants that support, someone who's genuinely interested in this material. You just really aren't 100% convinced that I am as genuine as I claim to be. Therefore, you know what? Here we go. Take advantage of it fully. This is who this promise is designed for. Right? So again, will it stop someone from taking advantage of me? Possibly not. But I'm telling you from my own personal story, I cannot honestly recall an example where I know they happened. I've got a very short memory when it comes to losses like this. I'm pretty sure that they happened, but obviously weren't significant enough for me to go like, oh my God, I was taken advantage of, right? Just didn't happen. All right, so we talked about the types of guarantees. We talked about what goes into the guarantee, which again is the actual promise, all right? Clarity, relevance, addressing what's important in the industry, length of a guarantee, what's covered and conditions of a coverage, and then the actual language used to both make it unique and attract the right person and repel the wrong person. Now, the last part I want to talk about is the using of guarantee. The using of guarantee. So to me, number one is to position yourself. So let me actually come back. Most people think that guarantee is used to convert more prospects into clients. And, I even used it in my promise for this call. And it's true, all right? You can use it to entice some people that will be like, nah, I don't want to do this, to actually go ahead and do it. However, in my particular case, I really strongly shy away from that use of a guarantee. In fact, let me share with you something very powerful that I do with potential clients on sales conversations, right? Right now, this is about to change, but up to this point, for the last 2.5 years almost, we've made 7 figures running our revenue rev up intensive coaching games, and we don't have written materials except for one PDF that's only accessible to people that ask about the program, right? So at this point, there really isn't anything in writing, but I'm very open about my program. We very openly talk about who our clients are, very easy to find us on social media. So it will be very easy to come back and raise their voice and let the market be aware that, hey, this Rubansky guy is really swindling people, right? So I'm very, very, what's the word I would use? Vulnerable for public feedback if we don't deliver on our promises. But in conversations, even though I have a very powerful guarantee, which is essentially this, We will make you three times, at least three times your investment in 90 days. At least you in our game, you will make at least three times what you invested in the tuition in just 90 days. All right. Now people say, what happens if you don't? Well, if you don't, you get to work with us for another 90 days. You get to essentially play another game. And if we still can't, then I'll work with you for another 90 days privately. And if I still can't deliver on a promise, I'll actually refund you the money. So you realize that you can get 9 months of support. And if we are not able to deliver on our promise, we'll still give you your money back. All right. That is absolutely insane. I don't know of anyone who does this. And there's something else that I want. Oh, so let me show you what I actually tell my clients. When someone asks about this, before I explain the guarantee, there are a couple of things when I say. When someone asks about what's the guarantee, the first thing I say, look, I'll gladly explain to you the guarantee, but let me just show you something. Just the fact that you asked about it raises a red flag. Because the people who are serious about getting results, like one of our taglines for the program is failure is not an option. It's like Apollo 13 mission. Failure is not an option. Like, you will succeed. So if you joining the program and you right away asking, well, is there a back door? You know, I know failure is not an option. I absolutely 100% want to succeed, but what if I don't? Well, so I always say, like, just because you're asking that question, it's not an immediate disqualifier. I mean, it's a legitimate question, right? You have the right to ask. But you ask this because you are uncertain about yourself. You are less uncertain about me. I've got an abundant body of proof that what we do works, right? How we support and guide our clients works. And when some clients don't get traction fast enough, we go out of our way to support them, right? But it's still a legitimate question. So when you ask this, I know that it really isn't about me. It's about you questioning your own ability to act at the speed of instruction. And that concerns me because I'm looking for someone who is decisive, who is absolutely 100% committed to taking action and follow through, and who will absolutely positively not accept failure as a final result. And that is the person I'm looking for. And that person doesn't need guarantees. You know, I love clients who, you know, at the end of the conversation, I ask, do you know what you get? You know, just, I want to make sure that you know what you get. And they say, I know. You're not doing, you're not giving me jack. You're not doing shit. I'm doing all the work. I'm responsible for my results. I'm like, hallelujah. You got the message, right? And, you know, I'm exaggerating a little bit, but we all want clients like this to realize there's a coach's part, there's a training part, and there's your part as a consumer. So once I go through that and I say, let me actually tell you what the guarantee is, all right? The first guarantee is it will make you at least 3 times your tuition in 90 days, all right? Now, in the unlikely case that it doesn't happen, so it happens, all right, about, I would say between 80 and 90% of the time, it might happen, all right? Now, when that happens, I would venture to say that, look, you really don't want your money back. What you really want is the result you came for. Right? So therefore, our guarantee, our promise is we will work with you for another 90 days to actually deliver the result we promised. And we'll go again out of our ways, support you in the new ways to help you get that result. And in the second round, we essentially have 100% success rate. So I could realistically claim that we have a 100% success rate. And then if in the second round we can't help you, I will still go out of my way, personally work with you outside of our program parameters to deliver on a promise. Now, I can tell you in 2.5 years, that has not yet happened. Now, within the games, I would often go and give somebody additional support. Our team steps in and, you know, coaches the person a little bit more when needed. But we have never gotten to the place where I needed to coach someone personally, and we've never gotten to the place where someone came back and it's like, this was total crap. I worked, I put the effort for, I never got the results that I promised. I want my money back. Has not happened yet. All right. And obviously the conditions here are you must do the required activities. And we will go out of our way, remind you, we'll make those activities easier, modify them for you. We'll, go back and forth to see what needs to happen for you specifically, but you must do that. If you don't do this, there's only one thing in our coaching programs we can't do, which is we can't move in with you, make you get out, get out of bed and actually do the things. That's the one thing we can, but we'll go abundantly out of our way to make all our steps as easy as possible for you to actually follow through. All right. So now that's what I just want to talk about, the positioning they use. You can use guarantees in headlines. You can use guarantees in usually in a call to action and when you make a bold promise. This is when you make a bold promise, like I'll make you triple, I'll make you, I'll triple your tuition in 90 days. This is where I want to put my guarantee, and it's guaranteed, right? Or one of our promises will make you whatever you've made in the last 12 months. We'll help you make this in 12 weeks. And on that, we are probably about 75% times successful on a first round with clients. But right there, we put a guarantee. At the very minimum, we'll triple your investment. That's at the very minimum. That's absolutely positively guaranteed, right? Another thing what I just talked about is to repel trouble. So you heard my languaging. When you're the type of person that's just looking to collect freebies, you're essentially already buying stuff with an idea, I'm going to refund, then I will address it overtly and say, if you're the type of person, I can't stop you. You will do whatever you want to do. But I'll just appeal to you, just save us the headaches. You really don't want this shit anyway. You won't use it. You just file it on your computer or whatever, put it on a shelf. Just save everybody some trouble. Go away. Go collect the free shit somewhere else, right? Leave this stuff for the legitimate users that want to explore it. And I may even be that overt with people and call people out on their intentions and the stuff. And what that does is it stops 99.9% of the people, of the few people that have some nefarious intentions, it stops them from doing this, right? Last thing I'll share with you is that few people actually, the last couple of things. Why I use guarantees is to address the negative trends in the industry. So again, coaching, here's one of the most powerful things that I did with my guarantee. And I'm very careful with it, and we document everything like crazy to make sure that I actually have the legal backing to do this, all right? But in my particular case, if you go to any coaching programs and you see guarantees like, well, you will get results or your money back, and then there's this 7 pages legal disclaimer that says, well, by law I'm required, an average person doesn't take action, blah, 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 blah. Therefore, they get 0 results. So the average result from our clients get is 0. That is bullshit, in my opinion. All right. It's essentially like guaranteeing a car that will perform, but putting a disclosure in there. Well, an average car that drives off the lot never actually works. In fact, it doesn't even have an engine, and it's a piece of shit. But, the 1 in a million car that actually gets a steering wheel and an engine, those are awesome. But an average client gets a shitty car. Like, would you really, is that a guarantee? That's bullshit, right? So in my case, what do? We go overtly out of our way to say, look, this is the promise. 3 times your revenue, your investment back, guaranteed, and there is no average. In fact, our average is 5 times, 5 times, actually even more at this point. 5.5 times your investment, that's our average. And by average, we mean there is no fine print. That means every person joining our program will make 3x the tuition. Period, guarantee, no ifs, no buts, no excuses. Right? That is so different. That is counter-addressing a trend in the industry, an avalanche of negativity that our industry as coaches and consultants experiences from joining programs that don't deliver results. You see how powerful that is? That is the power of that promise. That's very important. And the last thing that most people overlook, and I want to give you a very elegant example from Dan Kennedy. What most people overlook is that the guarantee, when it's structured the right way, actually helps you to deliver better results by inducing consumption. So this particular example is from a free sales letter that Dan Kennedy used to send, and it's actually better than free. But when you listen to the whole language, I'm going to read it once fairly slowly. When you listen to that language, you'll realize that there's no way anybody is ever going to execute on that guarantee. And a few people that will, what that guarantee makes people do and the likely results and outcomes out of it will far, far outweigh the few people that will take advantage of it kind of nefariously and mischievously. All right. So here we go. It's a sales letter. And in the sales letter open up with this. How can something sent to you for free be guaranteed? Here's my promise. If you read the attached, admittedly lengthy letter about your speaking business and listen to the enclosed audio cassettes, so that tells you it was a while back, audio cassettes, and watch the enclosed video, and you honestly feel that I've wasted your time, just jot me a note to that effect on the back of this certificate, and I will pay you $25 or donate $50 to Habitat for Humanity, your choice. All right? So when you think about it, in order to execute on this guarantee, he says, read this entire letter, which likely was 20 pages, listen to this 30-minute of audio, and watch my 30-minute of video. And chances are, if you deliver this much material, there is a lot of education in there, a lot of value as well. So most likely, if someone has consumed that, number one, at the very least, they would have gotten enough value, enough tips to go like, wow, this was really good stuff. I don't want to buy what he's selling, but this was so amazing. I don't want his 25 bucks. This is awesome. I'm keeping this as an example. There's so much education. I'll listen to it again. At the best, they will actually go ahead, and now they've gotten the full picture of the offer. They're going to go and actually buy it, likely for hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. And in some unlikely few cases, they will go, you know what? Here's my note, send it back, which, by the way, now think about it. They have to read the certificate, right? They have to read this whole thing, which that by itself is intriguing. Now they've got to address it. Now they got to stamp it. They got to put it in the envelope and send it back just to get a $25 back. Almost no one will do it, but the guarantee induces consumption of the material. And again, this is for free sales letter, but we can execute the same thing inside our coaching and consulting and training programs. That's what guarantees are ideally designed for. Let people know, look, I trust you first before I ask you to trust me. And then number two, position yourself differently in the industry. And number three, use it in a way that encourages and induces consumption and therefore produces better results for the audience you work with. There you have it. That's all I've got. You may want to tag a few friends in this because there is a very good chance this is one of those videos I will not keep here for a long time. I can sell this information easily for 50 to 100 bucks, and to the right person, this is worth thousands of dollars in additional revenue a year. So we'll keep it here for probably 24, maybe 72 hours as a replay, then we'll yank it out of it. So use it, re-listen again, tag a few friends, like it, love it, give me some comments, and until next time, here's to your success. Cheers.